Good morning, everyone. I'm Mrs. Parent for Piercy Library, and today we are going to make a fish aquarium because we read this story about an otter who wanted to find a pet, and he's an otter that stays at a zoo. So he had all sorts of great ideas of what kind of pet he wanted, and he ended up with a little fish in an aquarium, which we was really happy about. So we're going to make a paper aquarium with some fish in it. So let's get started. I will angle this camera down so you can see what supplies we have here. It's a very simple craft, an easy craft. And here's our fish aquarium. This is what we're gonna make today. And little Otter had one fish in his aquarium, so you could put as many in as you want to cut out. If you need to, we will just make a template that's out of paper and then use that to trace onto our big piece of white cardstock. So we got scissors, glue stick, a marker, pencil for tracing, and if you want bubbles, a little hole punch works well. Different colors papers for our different colored fish, so you can get scraps of any color that you want to make your fish. I have blue for water, and then here's our bigger sheet that we're going to use to cut out the aquarium. So let me show you what you can do. You can either just cut it out like this or have somebody help you, or actually you could even use this big piece of paper like this, because aquariums are usually these huge square things that are in your home. And then if you want, just put fish all over it and maybe some greens and stuff, or you can make, you could put another piece on it like this to be the water. So it can be very easy if you prefer to just make a huge aquarium like that. So for our fish aquarium here, we could just fold a piece of paper in half if we want to do a template and keep it flat on the bottom. And just cut like you keep it flat on the bottom, cut this nice half circle, maybe go out for a rim, cut straight across. So if we fold our paper in half, we can make our whole aquarium bowl, fish bowl at the one time. So let's just do that. So here I'll be cutting, like started about maybe 1.5 inches in from the center, and just do a nice curve. And let me get that out of the way so you could see how I got a nice curve. Here's the long center here for the bottom of the aquarium bowl, and then a curve like this for the fish bowl. And then we're going to cut a little bit of a top. It's the lip of the bowl, and then straight across again. So you see what that looks like? And it goes around and another around and straight across again. So when I unfold it, I've got an aquarium template. And so I want to trace this on white cardstock or white construction paper. So we'll do that quick. And then cut that out. And that will be our fish bowl for little Otter's pet fish, or the ones we want to pretend we have. And if you need help with this, have an adult in your home help you trace this, help you cut it out. If you're not good with scissors yet, or if you still want to practice, that's a good thing to do too. So here I trace that from the paper onto this cardstock or construction paper, something a little bit heavier, or you can even still use your paper that you started with. So we go around, and now we're going to go off the top. This is the top of the bowl. So get rid of that. And you can see how it's starting to take shape. Now you don't have to put blue paper in it for water. You can just color the inside with crayon blue. So here's our fish bowl, and so I want to put the same kind of curve on both sides and flat across. And I made waves in this one, but you certainly don't have to make waves. So here's a piece of blue cardstock. And again, once you glue your fish on, you don't need to use blue cardstock for water. This one I'm going to just make ripply. You can make just a crayon. Just take a crayon and color it blue. That is always kind of pretty too, because you can use different colored blues for different color shades of your water in your fish bowl. So see, I'll be gluing that in right there, right in the middle. So see, we're going to have that for water. And so now let's get all our different colored paper. You could cut out all kinds of fish. Look at, I got skinny ones, some with fins, some without. And then you'll end up drawing on them what you want for designs. So here's a piece of yellow. So I just cut a tail in. I'm going to cut some of that off. And then you cut up and maybe put a fin on, and then cut back down to the tail, so then you end up with a little fish shape like this. And you also could do things like this on his tail if you want it to be a different kind of tail, not just flat, but go in at an angle like that. So here's one of my fish. Maybe I'll make a long red one, so it'll look like a red shark fish. And then I'll make him kind of sleek looking and put a nice fin on him too on the top. That helps him swim in our water. Does he look like a little red shark? So I'll put him in here too, and maybe make a little smaller orange fish for my aquarium. So you could cut out as many as you want. They're really fun to do once you get the hang of it. You could have a pretty crowded aquarium. This one I'm going to draw on his fins. So here he is. We'll put him here. So then you're going to take your glue stick and glue him down. And if you want, you can also get a paper punch and punch down some. Here's a piece of scrap. Punch out some circles to make bubbles in your aquarium. So here we'll just punch out a few circles, and you can use as many of these as you want to make it look like there's bubbles coming out of your little fish. And again, you could just draw them on. You don't have to punch out if you don't have a little hole punch. All right, so let's take our water and put glue all over the back of this. Get this glued on. So all the way to the edges. I know all of you know how to glue now. We've been doing this together for a long time. So then we center this on our bowl, our glass fish bowl, and smooth it down. Here we go. Here's my yellow fish I'm going to put on next. He's going to be swimming to the right. I think my shark is going to be swimming to the left. And we'll put him in a different spot. And here's my little orange fish. There we go. And then any of the dots. You want to put dots on because you've got bubble breathing fish. You just go ahead and put a little glue on them from your glue stick and put them in the random spots on your, if you can get them off your finger, on your bowl, your fish bowl. Okay, so here's our next step that we did. And then you're going to take a marker or even a pen or pencil, and you can draw on their little faces. So my shark is not going to be that happy. He's going to have kind of a grim look to him. And here's an eye. And I'm going to have a smiley yellow fish and an eye. And it's just a little tiny orange fish. Here's his his eye, and I'm going to just draw his fin on and put lines in it, and then even on the fish that are, I cut tails out, and I also want to put a fin on my yellowfish. So look at that. So it's a quick and easy fish aquarium to make, a little tiny fish bowl. And you can take this further if you want. You can get some green paper and make seaweed for it and put that in first so that the fish can swim around it. Just if you had a piece of paper, a green one like this, you could cut swervy pieces of grasses, and then that would be kind of fun to put in the side of your aquarium bowl, because in a lot of real aquariums that people have, they do have stuff like this in here. So if you wanted to put it in here, you could put it under one of your fish so that it looks like it, so it ends up looking like this in your aquarium bowl. So if you can add a lot of different elements to your fish bowl and make it even cuter or more involved. So here's Otter's fish bowl with his fish. And if you wanted, you could just make one big one. Well, that was a fun craft to do together. Just let me remind you, 4-H will be in the parking lot this afternoon from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. So if you can come and join us, they're going to be teaching STEM programs, science, technology, engineering, and math, and we're having a great time. They're all spaced out, so everybody will be safe. So if you can come, it's this afternoon from 2 to 3. There's no registration. Just please come down and show up. And I hope to see you then. If not, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.